The Occultism of Numbers. A series on numerology and the true meaning of numbers. Today's lesson will be a brief introduction of the origin and a demonstration of several numbers. Not a complete guide but a small sampling. In the modern world today, we still use the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, but did you know every number 0 through 9, equaling 10, and thus according to the Sephirot representing mankind in a perfect system that explains all things symbolically through illustration. A key piece of advice to be remembered to the initiate: God made man in his image. The birth of our modern adapted numerical system stems in origin from the Vedic age, at least 1000 to 1500 years before Christ. Mind you, other cultures had numerical systems as well, especially the Hebrews in a post-flood world, but none as complete or accurate as those of the Sanskrit tongue. Taking into account the flood of Noah happened nearly 4,440 years ago, the timelines account correctly. So for many years various cultures would use various teachings of the art of numerology. It was not until the Abbasid Caliphate, during the Islamic Golden Age, that a gentleman named Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, of Persian descent, compiled various works, especially and including the Vedic knowledge, into what is now the modern Hindu-Arabic system that we use. The Hindu-Arabic system is designed for positional notation in a decimal system. In a more developed form, positional notation also uses a decimal marker, at first a mark over the ones digit, but now more usually a decimal point or a decimal comma which separates the ones place from the tenths place, and also a symbol for these digits recur ad infinitum, or translated into English as to infinity. We see now the power of the Kabbalah and Adam Kadmon in full display, as we know represents the infinite. In a more developed form, the numeral system can symbolize any rational number using only 13 symbols, the 10 digits, decimal marker, vinculum, and a prepended dash to indicate a negative number. Thus we understand the sacrifice of the Order of Solomon's Temple, better known as the Knights Templar now. A fall from knowledge we have suffered indeed. Al-Khwarizmi, a noted mathematician, astronomer, geographer, was not acting alone when he discovered and translated this system. Just as many before him, he was an initiate of understanding of the universe, better known to many as the precursors of modern esoteric knowledge. He did not discover anything, just rediscovered a lost key of knowledge. The way these numbers are represented by picture symbolization also is nothing short of magnificent. I would need to write a dissertation-level project to explain such things in detail, but it is a marvel. For example, 0, or the egg. Representation of so many things, quoting Albert Mackey, 33rd degree. Hence this symbol is introduced into the cosmogony of nearly all nations, and there are few persons, even among those who have not made mythology their study, to whom the mundane egg is not perfectly familiar. It was employed not only to represent the earth, but also the universe in its largest extent. Also to be noted, it represents beginning and end, displaying duality in its finest splendor. Then we look at 7, which to this day is debated by mystics at the highest level in regard to what Al-Khwarizmi's representation was visually, but there is no denying the power of this powerful number. Some would argue the 7 is supposed to hook, and not flat line at the summit, thus explaining vast amounts. The human pineal gland becomes visible in the developing fetus at 7 weeks or 49 days. 7 times 7. Birth control even follows a 7's cycle. The human soul lingers at the body for 7 days, according to the Zohar and Tibetan Book of the Dead, noted that any resurrection past 72 hours was considered a miracle but possible. Creation, as noted, happened in 7 days. There are 7 heavens, 7 chakras, better known as the ladder in the mysteries of Brahma, 7 days in a week, 7 luminaries, 7 metals of antiquity, The most damning understanding of all, Saint Malachy's Pope's prophecy regarding the city of 7 hills destroyed and the birth of the one known as the dreadful judge, the 7 hills, does not describe the physical destruction of Rome as many ignorant will think, but a further fall of mankind as described by our current world. My reasons for choosing 7 and 0 are but samplers for a short presentation, 0 being the easy to understand, 7 the complex. Every number has its purpose, both visually, symbolically, and mathematically. Even the English alphabet, or alpha representing 1 and beta representing 3, demonstrates the number of Jehovah, 26. Whom doeth find understanding in this final sentence, let divine light bless them.